Well, with baseball's offseason in full swing, one player could get very rich. I'm John Brickley with your latest ESPN headline. ESPN and media reports are indicating that the Marlins and slugger Giancarlo Stanton are in discussions for, are you ready for this, a 10-year, $300 million deal. With more on this, let's welcome in David Schoenfield, the host of the Sweet Spot blog here on ESPN.com. And David, what's the likelihood of a deal like this getting done, knowing that just a couple of years ago, Miguel Cabrera got a 10-year, $292 million deal?
Yeah, well, you know, the interesting thing is, of course, Stanton wasn't too happy when the Marlins had one of their fire sales a couple years ago, and they traded Jose Reyes and some other guys after they had signed those guys when they moved into the new park. But $300 million, I don't know how you turn that down. You know, he's still 2 years away from free agency. A lot can happen injury-wise in 2 years. So if they're really offering this kind of money, I think you got to take it, don't you?
I would think so. And you look at what Stanton did last year, 37 home runs, led the National League in that department, coming off a year where the Marlins had 77 wins, the most for the franchise since 2010. But again, why, if you're Stanton, would you go in this direction and re-sign with Miami?
Well, look, you're putting some faith and trust into an ownership group that's hard to trust, to know exactly what they're doing. Their payroll this year, lowest in the majors. Are they really committed to increasing that payroll, keeping around some of these younger guys that they have on the team? Obviously, Jose Fernandez, that young outfield with Marcell Ozuna, Christian Yelich. You know, they have a really nice foundation in the works here. If they make this commitment to Stanton, he's got to trust that they will then make the commitment to these younger players. And with Jeffrey Loria, that's just an unknown situation.
You look at this Marlins history when it pertains to World Series championships. We all know about 97, David, where they stacked the talent pool, won the championship. 6 years later, they come up with the championship when Josh Beckett was the ace of that staff. With even just the talks of Stanton possibly inking this big deal, what does this say about the direction Miami wants to go in over the next couple of years?
Well, look, for now, let's wait and see if the deal gets done. You know, if that's the case and they do have him to this long-term deal, to me it says they think they can win, that they're willing to increase this payroll, and hopefully this time stick with it. Last time they gave up after 1 year and parted ways with all those free agents that they had signed. So to me, there is a commitment here. It's a reflection of just how much money there is in baseball, that even a team like the Marlins, they don't, have a big attendance. You know, they've had trouble drawing fans for a long time, really ever since that 97 sell-off. But there's so much money that I think they can afford Stanton at $25+ million a year and build a winner around him.
He's the host of the Sweet Spot blog on ESPN.com, David Schoenfield. Now, one other note I do want to pass along. Marlins president of baseball operations, Michael Hill, has said that there is the discussion of a possible no-trade clause in the deal for Giancarlo Stanton. That's the very latest. I'm John Brickley with your latest ESPN headline.